Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Addison Sports Special. Wow, what a show for you tonight, folks. Big George Bliss is here. Georgie.
Hi, buddy.
Good to see you,
How are
guy.
you?
From the 16-inch Softball Hall of Fame. No gloves, by the way. Right, George?
So absolutely true.
We'll get into that. And Hustle and Muscle is here. Anthony D. We're going to talk to them about his training that he does right here in Addison, so you got to see that.
Great.
But boy, we got to go over the 16-inch Hall of Fame for you folks. It's a great place. George, before we get into the mechanics and all this stuff, a little bit about yourself. People are like, hey, Joe, where did he grow up at? What's he doing now? Things like that.
Yeah, I'm from Forest Park, Illinois, where the Hall of Fame is located. And
really? Even
Harry, our main guy we were talking earlier, everybody in Chicago at one time or another played 16-inch softball.
Right.
It goes back to 1887, documented at the Farragut Boat Club, and Mayor Daley played it. They played it in the 30s, the 50s. It got very big in the 60s as it came on television. Then it made a little resurgence in the 90s. And thank God, after all these years, literally 100 plus, Don, we built this beautiful Hall of Fame building 3 years ago, which you are a member of.
Yes, my team is, and we'll show you my team a little later on.
The Dukes.
But the Dukes, yeah, right. But George, what does one have to do? What does one team have to do? But what I like about the Hall, folks, is it's not just a team. You honor refs and
umpires,
sponsors,
individuals, park districts, but primarily it is for individual players. And the rule of thumb, Don, is you had to play at least 10 years. You just can't play a couple years and quit. You have to have some skin in the game, and you played 20 plus years, I think, with your team. And you had to be kind of good. You had to win some trophies, like an MVP or something, or a tournament championship.
Well, that's right. Yeah, we weren't in that. Like I said when I gave a little speech, you guys were nice enough to let me say something. I gave a little speech, folks. I said, we're not in the class of the Bobcats and Sobies.
Doesn't matter. I mean, you were there.
But I was honored because we're in with them now in the Hall of Fame. You guys were nice enough to let our team in because of some of our credentials.
Well, your length of service and the teams you played against, and you were in the thick of it. And you came to the grand opening in 2013. You know, what an amazing amount of money we put into this. Thank God for some sponsors. And the incredibly beautiful building, which I want to mention is, of course, at 7600 West on Harrison in Forest Park. I mean, it's right there in the middle of the city. It's right there at Des Plaines Avenue and Harrison. You can't miss it. And I'm sure this great show goes to that viewing area as well. So
yes, it does.
Come on over and see us.
Yeah, I'll tell you, folks, it was just a little building, an old gas station or something. And boy, these guys worked on it so hard. It's beautiful now.
It really is.
It's like the Football Hall of Fame.
It is a beautiful.
I mean, it's the state of the art. When I went in, man, oh man, it's just something to behold. But then what's nice about it too, on the outside, that's where you have the
we call it the plaza.
Plaza, you guys.
Where all the bronze plaques of the inductees, your face, your beautiful face is up there. So during the winter and when we're closed, people can see the outdoor plaza. And then on Saturdays and Sundays, come inside and see the interior, the audiovisual, trophies, uniforms, some classic stuff, as you know.
Absolutely. And you could, well, here now, you probably could. You could buy a hat if you wanted to. You got like a little.
Darn right. We have beautiful.
What is this bat, Georgie?
This is a classic. Your guys probably use this. This is the Chicago 10. This is a wooden bat that was used for many, many years. Guys are using metal now, but this was when you grew up in the neighborhoods, especially on the west side. This was the bat to use, the Chicago 10.
Okay.
It's a biggie, so you don't want to let that go.
And what about this here?
That is the one and only clincher 16-inch ball. Again, this is 100 years in production. This is made at this time in Haiti, but the exterior of this ball, right there, thanks, Harry, is Kapok, K-A-P-O-K.
Really?
In a nutshell, it's a bamboo kind of threaded material from Thailand, Vietnam area, and you can beat the heck out of this. And this ball goes and goes, and again, just not to bore people, we use no gloves, and this is what's made this game so incredibly different in Chicago.
Absolutely, and we were presented with one of these when we were at the banquet.
Absolutely.
When we got inducted into the Hall of Fame, and every team got one of these balls, a clincher. And boy, the first couple of innings, folks, when you're playing it, right, Georgie? Oh man, it's tough, but now you can wear gloves, which I guess maybe you know,
Well,
modern day, they want to break their fingers. I don't know.
Anybody here in Addison in the crew knows that you, a man who was running 50-mile marathons, okay, is not afraid of a speeding softball going 80 miles an hour because you've been to the mountaintop, Don Figarelli.
But it's not a 50-mile marathon. No, but you're right.
You've done some long marathons.
Not really. No.
Back in the day, you did.
Well, no, not really, Georgie. What I do now mostly, not a marathon. That's tough. I mean, you know, but I've done so many other sports. Okay, but
yeah, I know.
But not a marathon.
Have you done boxing?
A little bit. Oh. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
I was 24-0 as a boxer. And then I fought a man. I just want to see if you.
Well, I used to box oranges down in Florida.
Hey, you know this banquet, which hopefully you'll come again this year, is going to be April 1st this year, April Fool's Day. And
oh, really?
If you know, again, right in our audience here at the beautiful Drury Lane, right down the street in Oak Brook, and that's going to be at April 1st, this coming up Saturday in a couple of weeks.
An induction ceremony.
The induction ceremony,
okay,
yeah.
And yeah, folks, it's terrific. But getting back to the hall now, it's like George says, it's in Forest Park, right on the corner of
Des Plaines and Harrison.
Des Plaines. It's easy to get to, and do yourself a favor, go in there. And I'm sure some of you old timer, whatever, you're going to recognize some of those guys in that Hall of Fame.
Oh, you sure
right,
are, like Willie Simpson and the great Ray Tops. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to talk about some of the inductees real quick.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, do that.
So this year, the inductees in the Pioneer division is Mike Kursky.
Pioneer, excuse me, George.
Pioneer being kind of older, but like before 63.
Okay.
Mike Kursky, I haven't met Mike, I will. And then the great Dennis Colucci from right out here in West Suburban area. Yeah. Dennis Colucci.
Wait, excuse me. Speaking of Dennis, I just talked to him.
He knows him. I knew he would know him.
Before the show, George, he went up to Mayo Clinic for, and he said, Don, call me back later. He said that he didn't have good news, so I'm hoping, you know, it's not that bad, you know.
Well, they'll find something for him. He's a great man.
He's a fighter, so he'll come out of that.
So I mentioned Mr. Colucci and Mike Kursky. The veterans is Ricky Roston, who currently lives in the state of Washington, and one of the great players, Ron Matriciano, who was a buddy that I grew up with, and he was in the Department of Corrections and in Major League Baseball. So Ronnie Matriciano's in there. And the women division is two unbelievable players, Lisa Lovato, and one of the top I've ever seen, Rosie Geraci. I mean, these are the two, incredible. And then in the modern era, Keith Filkins, who's still playing today, Howard Blakely, Jeff Berger, Ricky Gankars, and one of my favorite players is a guy named Randy Russ, who has been paid to play softball all over the country and goes to celebrity teams. He'll be in. And the manager this year is a guy named Todd Mirabelli, great guy from the Southeast Side.
Okay.
There's a Southeast Side, by the way. Organizer Gloria Kolbas is going to be in this year. The Wall of Fame is Mike Cam, my good buddy from the Jinx team, and Gary Goldberg, who is also in the audience here and watches your show. And then some of the teams that are going to be inducted this year are the great Jinx team, the Outcast team, People's Gas, Gillette, the Strokers, the Rebels, and Stovers of Iowa. So we're inducting an Iowa team this year, and they play in Des Moines, and they're very, very good.
They are?
Yes, they are.
But of course, folks in Georgia, around the whole country, like, they don't play a lot of 16-inch softball.
It's difficult, Don.
Why is that, George?
Well, I try to be politically correct. You know, the guys that want to wear gloves, okay, and hit the ball a long way, anybody can do it, okay? You just can't pick this up and be good at it. This is a game for people, you know, that are actually skilled at sports, and it's a rough, tough, you know, big shoulders kind of thing that we have in Chicago. This city is very different than all other cities. The guys in New York and Detroit, I mean, they have great players, but they can't play at this level. And very quickly, years ago, we challenged a 12-inch team. I won't mention the name. We crushed them. We played their game, and then they played our game.
Is that right?
The best softball players in the world literally are from Chicago, only because the game started here 100 years ago, and, you know, it's dug into the culture very much.
Kells Park, wasn't that one of the big...
Kells Park, very good on near West Side. That was the big gambling fraternity over there.
Really?
Right across from Rockola. You know your stuff.
Yeah.
I believe that was Grand Avenue, I think.
Was it Grand? Yeah, okay.
Kells Park. And Kelly Park on the south side. Mount Prospect still doing great. Forest Park, Westchester, Hodgkins. There's still some very, very good activity. But I'll tell you, the banquet, as you know, is very beautiful. They do an incredible job.
It's gorgeous there. Drury Lane, beautiful. George, are a lot of the teams from back when I played still going, like, you know, like here, Bobcats?
Bobcats are around. We have them in the hall.
Yeah.
The guys aren't playing actively, but they have an association, a little fraternity where they get together all the time. That team was founded by the great Eddie Zollner.
Yeah.
But
How was that, Eddie Zollner?
Eddie, unfortunately, has left us a couple years ago. And
okay, yeah.
his good friend Ray Tops, who's our vice president, was a great, great Bobcats player. And Ray is very instrumental in the success of our
I had him on the show. You're right. I'll get him a tape, I promise.
And then the Dwarfs team. And
yeah, the Dwarfs, okay. That I knew some guys on the Dwarfs.
And
they're still playing, though? Are they
no, not
under
really.
the name of
not
that?
really. They hang out mostly socially.
Oh, okay. But
just like the Dukes.
Yeah.
And speaking of the Dukes, did you ever show the folks the plaque of the Dukes?
I'd like to, George.
Why don't you pick up the darn thing?
Okay, all right.
If you guys don't mind, here you will get a
all right.
When the Dukes were inducted, you got a good shot on that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful jersey. This was made by your team, and we hope that you'll bring this over to us
well,
so we can put it on the wall.
I know, Georgie, I will, but so many people come around the house, whatever, and hey, how's it? And I said, well, wait a minute, let me show you what we got for, and then they'll, so that's why I'm kind of hesitant about bringing it to the hall, because we have to go to the hall to see it. But
well, how about if I borrow it for about 6 months? Is that fair?
Yeah, all right.
Okay,
yeah,
so we can
fair.
show it all summer because we get better crowds during the season, obviously.
Well, okay, yeah, I promise you I'll bring it. But
that's
then,
a deal, Harry.
like
Mark it down.
You got that? Okay. Well, wait. There's a close-up. All right. Well,
there you go.
Let me show you. There's Moons right there. That's Moons. That's Big Denny. That's there's Richie. There's Bobby W. Louis Eggs D'Amico.
Louis Eggs D'Amico.
There's
the names that pop out here?
He was the egg man. Yeah, let's see. Where's the animal? The animal is in here somewhere.
Okay.
Is that? Yeah, there's Jack the animal.
Right.
There's little Louis, fast as Louis
Aparicio.
I swear to God, George, he could almost beat. Well, he would. The guy had hit the ball. He's playing catcher. He would beat
the guy at first.
Yeah. Well, the catcher in case it was a bad throw or something. That was Louis was fast. You might know him, Potato Man.
Is that Potatoes?
Yeah,
I've heard of Potato. He was a great player.
Yeah, Potato Man right there.
Right.
And this is the Shadow Man. Wow. He always followed us around. And Tommy, let's see, Willie, that's Willie the Whip. So those are all the guys that were on that team. Thanks for showing that.
So maybe I've talked them into getting this. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll bring that there.
The Dukes.
So if you got a team, folks, I mean, give George a call or something, and if you qualify, you could maybe make up something like this, right?
Hey, we're
but they
looking for people. So many
it.
tens of thousands have played, and really we need to outreach more. There's so many players that we don't have a super budget, but still some people, thanks to you, helping us get this word out. But a lot of people that played back in the day in the 50s at Kells Park and all, they still don't know that we're at 7600 West on Harrison in Forest Park, and it's a beautiful, beautiful museum. We're always looking for donations, but so far so good.
And what they do too, folks, is at the induction there, they have the banquet. Then you do something right at the hall.
We
have an old timers game.
We have an old timers game every July, and in the summer when the Forest Park tournament is. This year is the 49th annual No Glove Nationals at Forest Park. Can you believe it?
Oh, boy.
And that, of course, is on our YouTube channel, live streaming, which is the order of the day.
Yeah.
And we're doing things now, just like the great folks at Addison are doing.
Yeah.
So, combining cable TV with streaming, it's all coming together, thank God.
Yeah, it is, George. You guys do a terrific job. Ron, he's the president, right? Is he Ron?
Ron Kubicki.
Kubicki.
Ronnie, thank you for everything you've done.
And Frankie, where does Frankie
Frank Lentine is one of the board members that has a lot to do with figuring out who the old veterans guys are.
Is that right?
And Frank Lentine, of course, neighborhood legend in the Italian-American Hall of Fame, in the Softball Hall of Fame, all kinds of other things. And we've got some pretty famous people. Rich Melman's with us.
That's
Fritz
right.
Zimmerman.
Let us that's right.
You. Fritz Zimmerman is with us. Bob Surratt from WLS Radio is with us. And Mike North.
And Mike,
our buddy, has been with us. We have some celebs in our hall.
Oh, yeah. That's it's something, folks. You get a chance to get up there to see it, okay? And, meet George there. He'll see it. Georgie, my pleasure, buddy.
Play softball, Don.
Okay.
It is the greatest game in America. See you there at the hall, buddy.
All right. We'll be right back, folks. Wow.